Welcome back to GoNexus. We're now on our dashboard. We have created our profile for Stone Advisors. So go to our social profile here on our left tab. You can kind of see everything that we've already set up for this. You can see who they are. So Stone Advisors is actually in there. They're a developer, license number, 15 years of experience. Everything that we've created on our profile setup is now in here. Now we're going to walk through how to actually create a deal. We're going to create a deal. This particular user is a commercial real estate developer that particularly focuses on the office side of things. So it's a pretty simple step-by-step where we just enter the information of our deal. So the first thing is we are going to actually go in and enter what deal are we doing. So we're going to do a engineering suite build out located in Orlando. And then we're going to see what our description of this project is. So you can see we're seeking a general contractor in Orlando, Florida for a 15,000 square foot interior office build to suit project. The space is currently in gray shell condition and will be converted into a high performance office tailored to an engineering firm. This scope includes full interior construction, including MEP systems, partitions, ceilings, finish work, millwork, and coordination with client-specific equipment. Creating our RFP, this deal description, the more you enter, the better a vendor can actually know about the deal and what needs to be required. So what project class are we going to be in? So project class is an office. What type of deal type? This is a tenant improvement. So it's an existing space. It's not new construction, and it's an interior project. So we'll move on to our next steps. So what is the address of the project? So it's super specific for us to actually go in and enter that address. You're creating a deal and say it's a new development, you're in civil engineering permit, you do not have an address assigned yet, you can always go in and click no address assigned. It will require a city, state, zip code, but it will also require a parcel ID. So this will give us a complete relativity to where the project is located in the jurisdiction, but for this particular project, we do have an address. So I'm going to say that address is 1414 East Main Street in Orlando, Florida. We're going to go ahead and enter in that information. 32803 is our zip code. So I've got the property address. So at this time, the parcel ID becomes optional. If you don't have the property address, the parcel ID is required. So then we'll go in and it will give us a map location on your deal card, on your RFP of that exact location of that project. And then now we get into the specifics of the project. So this is a 15,000 square foot office build out. We're going to say our budget range is between $200 and $300 a square foot. So say $3 million to $4 million. One feature here, you can see if you go in and enter your max budget for less than your minimum budget, it will then say that it actually doesn't meet the requirements. We're going to go $3 million to $4 million for the maximum project. Our bid due date. So when do we want our bids due? I'm going to say those bids are due on the 17th of July. We're anticipating construction and receiving that permit by September 12th, and we want to complete this project by, at the latest, January 16th of 2026. Stage in this project, so we can go between preliminary planning, design, permitting, bidding, evaluating bids, or under construction. So this particular project, we are in design, maybe in permit already. If we are in permit, well then now we're going to ask for that permit number and that permit jurisdiction so that vendors can understand the scope of the project, where it's located, stage of the permit number based off of the building department in that particular jurisdiction. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say we're in permitting. So we're going to actually have to enter into that permit number in demo format. So it's not relative, and then we'll just say City of Orlando. Then we'll go ahead and move on to who are we looking for. So we're looking for a general contractor for this particular project. And then what qualifications do they need? I want to work with a small business, minority-owned, woman-owned, veteran-owned, or other. Let's say we do like small business. We do want a veteran-owned, but none of these need to be required. It's just who we are requesting. Size of company as a general contractor. Sometimes you need that big general contractor. You need that big vendor because of the power of having people on staff. But for this particular project, we'll go ahead and say that we need a smaller, medium, sophisticated company that sits at between 11 and 50 employees. Now, here's where I enter my, this is your file vault. So you're going to go in and you're going to actually enter into those floor plans. So we'll go in and enter our floor plans. That'll upload. Then we'll go ahead and enter in our, we'll add a custom document, and then we'll say our vision board. This is going to be our vision board for this spec suite. This is provided by the client. It is the vision board of the project. And then we also, if we want to, we can say existing conditions. And this is where you can upload any pictures relative to the project. That way, if you've got pictures, vendors can actually see the project, get a hands-on. You do have the ability to upload a custom link here. If you've got a Google Drive, Dropbox, or anything like that, you can enter into that link, but you will need to title that as you see fit. So move on. Now, we can upload our pictures, or we can use the map. So this map is going to coordinate based off of the address that you provided when you were creating that deal. For this particular project, we're going to go ahead and we're going to upload our own images. And so as we upload those images, we're going to say we're going to give those existing conditions. These images will act as your deal card here. So if I have these images and say I want to upload another image, and so we'll upload those both here. So now we've got the existing conditions, and then we've got the vision board. If I want to, I can actually toggle between the two, and whichever image is first and has this star will be our default image that will act as your deal card. So move on. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting. You do have the ability to have this as a public deal. So what this means is anybody and everybody can search for these deals. They can find these deals. You can also send out the link to anybody that you need. It will be indexed in the search engine in Google. You actually get all of the information for you to review, or you can toggle this back to a private deal. So private deal will not appear on this public dashboard, but you can only send the private link to any vendors that you want to have. So if this is a project that you need to keep quiet, or you do not want it on the public sphere and you just want to send the RFP to people that you know, you do have the ability to do that as well once you create that deal. So I'm going to toggle this just so for detail purposes and demo purposes. I'm going to keep that as a public deal. Go ahead and create that deal, and you can see that deal will then pop up into my deals. That deal will also pop up on our deal dashboard. We can come here. And what we've done is we basically created this RFP, right? So you can see the deal pictures, anything relative to that deal, what the deal description is. So what are we looking for? You can see when that bid due date is, when that start date is, and when that completion date is for those vendors to see. So in this particular view, this would be a vendor. I'm looking at the RFP, trying to verify, is this a good deal for me? And are they looking for a company that's my size? So in the project details, we'll see this as tenant improvement is in the office project class, not specified the stage yet. Project budget, deal size, who are we looking for? So we're looking for a general contractor in a medium size. You can see that map view here, then any file attachments. And then here's actually our deal maker. So advisors actually created that deal. So specifically created this RFP. This is a very user-friendly interface. It is supposed to act as more of a friendly environment rather than a 15-page PDF or a email with a bunch of spreadsheets attached or anything of that nature. And then you actually have the ability to go in and share that. So you can share it Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or direct mail. When you do go ahead and share that, you'll share it on LinkedIn. It will actually create your preview messages. So new project opportunity has been shared with you on GoNexus, the pre-construction deal making platform. And here's kind of off the specs of the deal. And then it'll prompt them to actually click that link. If a vendor clicks that link, so they'll actually get this, and they'll be able to see that RFP in full form, full screen. They will not have access to utilize the rest of the dashboard if they are not signed up as a GoNexus member. They are able to see anything involved into this RFP.